birds are indeed having a prayer session right in front of the cross. Current situation. Man, that hair rough, buddy. There we go. Current situation. Waiting on Jack in the Box to deliver food so we can go see where are we going?
The mission. San Antonio mission.
She woke me up, told me that we had to go early for the mission. I said, what's the mission? I told you not to schedule any tour thing. Can we just go walk around? She's like, no, it's called the missions.
The missions.
So that's where we're going. Supposedly it's a bunch of old buildings. How old did you say they are?
300 years old.
I think it's older than, how old's America? So that's what we're doing. So come on, let's roll. So a full and accurate explanation of the San Antonio missions is impossible for me because I don't have a complete understanding of them myself. What I do know is that there are 5 Spanish colonial missions in San Antonio, Texas that have been there since the early 1700s. They were basically like town squares. They took up large spans of land and they had lots of pretty buildings on them. So this is basically a miniature model of where we're at. These large spans of area were built like fortresses because 300 plus years ago was a little different time. You had to fight for what you had and fight to keep what you got. All 5 missions have deep religious significance primarily to the Christianity religion and are built with the main building or structure being the church itself. Not only are these missions significant structures in and of themselves and kind of as the whole community or fortress, if you will, but look at the detail that's in this church. Like this window. This is not a normal windowsill. I was kind of fascinated by some of the little things, like look at the design of this door hinge right here. It's pretty crazy and it's pretty thoughtful. Door latch. And then look at this big ass gate. Man, they weren't playing around back then. And then you had stuff like this, which I'm not real sure what this is. I'm sure it says somewhere, maybe an oven, who knows. One of these missions, the very oldest one, would later become known as the Alamo, where a famous fight went down during the Texas Revolution. Now I'm going to let you guys get into the rabbit hole of the Texas Revolution, the Battle of the Alamo, and all that good stuff on your own. Just know that this place has seen a lot of things go down over its 300-year history. Guess what day it is? Move day. First thing that I got to do though is find a place to dump and pump, get fresh water. I think I'm gonna take a shower there too. There's a place about 45 minutes up that I dumped and pumped at last week, and we'll do that again. Christy's off taking Britt to Houston Airport. Just watched the sunrise, had some coffee. Now it's time to roll. Now I did get the opportunity to wash 𝐿𝐼𝐼 last week whenever I did pump and dump. And I went to this little truck, well, this big truck wash, and it's 4 big trucks. And whenever I did, it told you just to put in your card and press stop whenever you were done. Well, I did that, and they ended up charging me 40 bucks. Not only that, but the stuff that they had was like pink, and not only did it stain the trailer, but it also stained my hands and arms. It was, I don't know what kind of stuff they got there. So what happens, I don't know if you can see it or not, is all that condensation and whatnot is a mixture of a couple things. One, that pink stuff, I think it didn't really like polish it up too good. But 2, the sea breeze, which is constant, right now it's actually pretty slow, blows up this like salt mist, right? And at the beach where big waves and all, it's even worse. But as you can see, the water droplets and all that salt just coats everything. You can see there. So the trucks haven't fared any better, right? So again, it just gets pelted with salt and wetness. That said, it's super important that you clean this after you get done camping at the beach. And when I say clean, I mean all of it. Clean all up underneath here. You see all that rust and stuff? Clean everything. Just slide on in. All right, Magnolia Beach. Hasta mañana, but not mañana. Next time, whatever the Spanish pronunciation of that is. All loaded up, ready to roll. Everything looks good. Let's get on the road. The next spot we stayed at was outside of the cool little city of Victoria, Texas. This city park had full amenities and full hookups and allowed you to stay there for under 20 bucks a night. It was right along this little waterway, had some walking trails. It was one of my favorite places that we stayed at in Texas. Hell yeah, right when we pull up. Indeed. If you're staying for a long time, I recommend having it, slanted just a little bit, but it's level. So I'm gonna park here. This is Victoria RV Park in Victoria, Texas. Now, we don't have the place all to ourselves. We got neighbors. All right, so you got some neighbors over here, but we're all pretty well spread out, which is nice. So I know for sure we're gonna stay here for a little while this afternoon. I went ahead and paid for the full site. The full site's like 12 bucks, so. But we're out of the wind. We're in a nice spot. I think we got substantial coverage. I might pitch the idea to Christy that we stay here for the remainder of this week and just kind of see how she likes that idea. If we stay here for the remainder of this week, then we'll go to Corpus Christi next weekend. The beach is fun, but the beach comes with a lot of BS that you have to deal with. The wind is one of them, which is supposed to be picking up. Storms are another whenever those happen, which we're in pretty good conditions right now. It's a little bit cloudy, but I don't think they're expecting any storms or anything. And Puma said he's going to chill and lay in the sunshine and in the grass and not have to worry about waves and too bad a wind. While Magnolia Beach may be void of most of the shitty parts of the beach for beach camping, it's not totally devoid of it. Christy was definitely hip on the idea of being in a place with full hookups and full amenities, as well as good cell phone service and near the city, after being so far away with the last few places that we had camped. Having a good spot with the full hookups allowed us to get everything cleaned up, as well as make some minor repairs and get everything resituated for the next leg of our journey. We still weren't done exploring the Gulf Coast of Texas, as we still wanted to see Corpus Christi and that area down there. But we decided that we weren't going to take Imogene down there, and we were just going to spend a weekend down there in the truck. Well, here we are again, pulling up the camp. Oh, dark 30. We're getting it all set up in the back here. We brought Austin again. We've got the Gazelle. It's up on top there, but we didn't really feel like setting it up tonight. Chrissy says this is easier.
Pretty much done.
That's the current situation. Look here, Brody. I'm starting to feel some type of damn way about you constantly talking trash about my MyPillow travel MyPillow. What is it you got against my MyPillow?
It sucks.
Why?
It just does. There's nothing to it.
I mean, it's a travel pillow. Better than your travel pillow.
My travel pillow is full size, thank you.
It's because you ain't got no travel pillow. There it is.
There it is.
We should have just brought sleeping bags and pads, because we brought all the tools and we ain't used them once.
I mean, it's kind of difficult when we don't have a fridge.
I mean, we still got stuff for coffee. You picked up the
That's
individual
it.
creamers.
That's it. We have no food.
After a quick beach camping trip, we headed back to our actual full amenity campsite, where we enjoyed the full amenities for just a few more days before heading off again. I have to take a second just to brag here on 𝐼𝐧𝐠. So yesterday I went and got some fish while I was along the Gulf Coast there, and some shrimp, some jumbo-tailed shrimp. I threw them in the 𝐼𝐧𝐠. Froze solid still. It's been a full day at 14 degrees Fahrenheit, but 14 degrees. Now, granted, it's not like, 100, but it's also not like 40. It's 70s, 80s, 60s. After a full day of running, I'm still at 12.4 volts. I mean, what else do you need? Check out 𝐼𝐧𝐠's line of fridges. They just work. Links down in the description below. I've got the 45 here inside of Apple, and the 95 serves as our home fridge inside of Imogene. What I will tell you is this thing sounds a hell of a lot happier with that fridge in there than the last one. Quicker too. Hooked up and ready to go, ready to roll once again. Pumbaa, you coming with us? I actually hate to leave this place. This is one of the best spots that we've stayed at for sure. We're gonna go 5 hours up the road here, hit up Fort Worth, where a friend of ours is gonna meet us in about a week or so. We're gonna free camp outside of a city outside of Fort Worth for about a week. And then whenever she comes in, we'll move to a spot in Fort Worth. And then it's off to Arizona. As you can see by this bridge right here, it's important to know what your rig height is. We know that we're 12.5 foot. As you can see, folks hit this bridge that don't know what their rig height is. So make sure you know what your rig height is. We pulled up in Granby, Texas, just in time to find a hustling and bustling city square with some sort of arts and crafts show or market thing going on.
But the town still stays the same. At the end of the day, I can still go home and they all still know my name. He's been a dreamer. Spent it's so hard to change.
Hey fellas, what are we looking at? Our next camp spot would be in a city park as well, right here on this lake. Although it didn't have full amenities, it did allow for camping at the park. And this, again, like all the other spots that we've stayed in Texas, was a really cool spot. So one thing that I'll say about Texas is the wind picks up, and whenever it does, it's instantaneous, and you must move everything right then and there. That's just how it goes. And it's done just that tonight. I'm gonna go outside the block. Yeah. Pretty regular occurrence in Texas. Pumbaa, you ready for another move day? Let's roll, big guy. Our next move would be into a full-fledged campground complete with full hookups and all the amenities. And the reason is because we were picking up Stephanie from the airport real soon, and she's gonna spend a couple weeks with us here in Texas. We wanna make sure that she's comfortable. Hey girl, you wanna come home with me? Okay. And we all know what goes down when your hood rat friends visit. You do hood rat things. Of course we had to go hit up the Fort Worth stockyards. They're happy as shit. Look at them. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Full-Time Living. I really appreciate you guys watching. Hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more adventures, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, you guys keep hanging in there like a hair on a biscuit. And remember, you can be happy if you've a mind to. Peace, y'all.